Once upon a time in a faraway desert city, there lived a kind but poor boy named Aladdin. He had no riches, but he had a big heart and a clever mind. He lived with his mother and helped her by selling fruit in the market. He had dreams of a better life, not just for himself, but for his mom too. One day a stranger came to town. The man was dressed in a dark cloak, and though nobody knew where he was from, people felt a bit uneasy around him. As he walked through the marketplace, he saw Aladdin sitting by his fruit stand. Stranger, boy, would you like to earn gold for one small task? Aladdin, gold for what? Stranger, just fetch an old lamp from a cave. That's all. Aladdin thought this was too easy to be true. But his mom needed some fruit and veggies, and the stranger offered to pay for them, so Aladdin agreed. They arrived at a rocky cave, and the stranger told Aladdin to go inside and get the lamp. He clapped his hands, and boom! A secret cave opened up behind the rocks. Stranger, enter, but only touch the lamp. Aladdin nodded, but when he entered, he saw not just the lamp, but also tons of jewels and gold coins sparkling everywhere. It looked like a dragon's cave, but without a dragon. Aladdin really wanted those shiny things, but he took only the lamp. When he handed it over to the stranger, the man suddenly grew angry. He tried to grab Aladdin, but the boy was too quick and ran away. The stranger chased after him. And when he finally caught him, he said, "You didn't give me the lamp first, like we agreed. Now I won't help you at all." Kay snapped his fingers, and poof, Aladdin got trapped inside the cave. The entrance disappeared, and he heard the stranger's laughter. Aladdin sat down sadly. What had he done? His mom would never get her fruits, and now he was stuck in a dark cave. He felt like crying, but then he wiped off some dust from the lamp. Maybe, just maybe, it had some magic in it. He rubbed it some more, and whoosh, a blue, bubbly genie burst out. "Genie, hoo-woo, you freed me from the lamp after all these years. I'll grant you 3 wishes." Aladdin couldn't believe his eyes. Really, then? He thought hard. "First, I wish to go home safely." The genie waved his magic wand, or rather finger, and zap, Aladdin was teleported home. He ran to his mom, and she was so relieved to see him. Then Aladdin told her about the magic lamp and the 2 wishes he had left. "Mother, oh my son, you want for gold and jewels and fine clothes, right?" Aladdin thought about this. He did have some nice things, but most of all, he wanted his mom to be proud of him. So he asked for a beautiful house instead. And poof, the genie made it appear. It had pretty gardens and rooms filled with light and happiness. Aladdin's mom was very proud of him. She knew he could make the right choices, even with great magic. And so they lived in the house happily. But Aladdin still had one more wish. He thought long and hard about it, and he decided he wanted to use his last wish for a friend. One day in the marketplace, Aladdin saw some children playing near his old fruit stand. But one girl was left out. She looked sad, so Aladdin went over to ask if she was okay. He learned her name was Princess Layla, and she missed her parents who had gone on a faraway trip. They started talking, and Layla soon forgot about being sad. She and Aladdin became friends, and then best friends. They played and studied together every day. But then the evil stranger came back to the city, and while Aladdin was at school, he snuck into their house and stole the magic lamp. Aladdin was so mad, but he knew getting it back would take more than strength or tricks. It would take bravery. He thanked the genie for all its help, and then set out to the stranger's palace to get his lamp back. When the stranger saw Aladdin, he taunted him with riddles and games, trying to trick the boy. But Aladdin answered every riddle correctly and stayed focused on his goal. Finally, he got close enough to grab the lamp. But the stranger was very clever, and with a flick of his robe, poof, he vanished and hid in a painting. Aladdin reached out to grab it, and whoosh, the genie reappeared. "Genie, one last wish, my friend." "What will it be?" Aladdin thought for a moment. He could wish for powers or riches. But being sneaky and selfish was what had caused all their problems, so he wished for the genie to be free forever. The genie was overjoyed. He hugged Aladdin tightly and disappeared in a flash of light. Aladdin still had no magic lamp, but he wasn't upset. Instead, he felt good knowing he'd helped someone in need. And to his surprise, the stranger appeared in front of him. Stranger, well met, young hero. I had hoped you'd come to my palace. I've been expecting you. He took off his cloak to reveal a familiar face. It's me, uncle. Aladdin was shocked. He never guessed his own uncle was the evil stranger. Uncle, so Aladdin, will you come work with me? Aladdin, never. Aladdin ran out of the palace, happy to be free of the magic lamp and his tricky uncle. He knew that with or without magic, he had everything he really needed. A kind heart, a helping hand, and true friends. And so Aladdin, his mother, and Princess Layla continued to live happily ever after. Not because of magic, but because of kindness and courage.